Welcome to episode 329 of the Working Fans Podcast. Please, if you're new to watching us, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification button so you know when we go live. And we are live over on Patreon. Since the holidays, kept us back, we didn't get a chance to shout out some of our newest signups. So we've got John White, friend of the show, work with him. We've got Kelly Souther and Anthony Eckhart from YouTube. Sorry about that, Anthony. So anytime you guys join the Patreon, we've been putting a link out for a free 2 months. We will read your name on the show. And before them, we had friend of the show, Jake St. John, and friend of the show, Stagger Lee, sign up. So, and after one paid month of subscription, if you want to get interviewed on the podcast, we will set that up. We will talk wrestling with you. If you check it out, we've got OWR stuff. We talked about getting New Heights Wrestling stuff up. And what we are also talking about is Matt Cardona in WWE. This was a big surprise last Friday on Smackdown. Dave, what did you think of this?
I thought it was most interesting that he came back as Matt Cardona. Being it was already Matt Cardona in NXT, but in that John Cena tournament, they obviously wanted him to be Zack Ryder. I think that bodes well for him in his future here. At least that he's going to get a shot. It's interesting he's coming back as a babyface too, because obviously his wife is currently working heel. His wife lost that U.S. title on the same episode to Julia. So I do wonder, if that's a possibility, we could see Chelsea and Matt maybe working together at some point too.
Down the line, I wouldn't be surprised, but to start off, it's hard not to put him on the good side of things just because he had such a response when he came back as Zack Ryder. Yeah. This was such a big thing, him getting to come back under his own name in a company that, he's loved his whole life. And it's interesting, later on it was reported he was signed. He's already got a shirt up. He was running a promo on social media that if you buy his WWE shirt and send him proof by like a certain cutoff, he was calling 5 fans. And that's kind of wild for, a return. But he has such a connection with the people and he fostered it his whole time off that it's not surprising to see him come back under such big circumstances.
Yeah, what did he do? You remember when he let go? Was it during the pandemic? Was it that?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah. So, yeah. And you think about the run he had with really starting in GCW. I saw him a couple times there, and it was great the way the crowd reacted to him. But then he started showing up in so many other indies.
Right. It was the NWA champion.
NWA. He showed up in TNA.
Yeah.
I think he showed up in MLW. He showed up in a lot of places and made his mark. And it's a testament to Matt Cardona and just the fact of getting out there, believing in yourself, and really doubling down with everything. Monday night, we had the big Raw Stranger Things crossover. Dave, are you a Stranger Things fan?
I am. I actually watched the show. I just finished watching the final episode this week, actually, after Raw. So I didn't actually see it before Raw. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't think all the seasons were the best, but I enjoyed the bow they put on it, and I enjoyed the characters. And it's amazing to watch how these people kind of grew up before your eyes when you go back and you look at some of the old footage of the first season. That being said,
yeah, I was going to say, how'd you like the crossover and the promotion?
Right. I'm not usually a fan of stuff like this. I will say what I did like about it was that it didn't really overstay its welcome. You know what I mean? Like in the old days, Vince might have had like an upside down match or something, or, there might have been monsters trying to enter the ring or something. This was more just kind of just dealt with the set, and they kind of did like in their previews for certain matches chapters, which is like a Stranger Things thing. So I thought they kept it kind of low key, and I appreciated that. It didn't bother me at all.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about Stranger Things, right. And I enjoyed the set. I liked having the music in there. It seemed like a sensible crossover for Netflix. And really, a lot of what they've done on the last year in Netflix has been crossover, because when they have comedians on, it's comedians with Netflix specials. They're good at promoting it. Yeah, I thought it framed things nice without, like you said, being too much.
Yeah.
Some great matches on there. I watched early. We were wrong about Chris Jericho.
All right.
What did you think about that whole thing, especially like looking at it in hindsight? Did we just get our hopes up?
Yeah, probably. I think that, with certainly knowing Jericho, he's going to want to make a big impact. Not to say he'll be somewhere else, but a big impact, when he shows up. And I think that he's going to like to keep people guessing. So who knows? But Netflix Raw would have been a good spot, but obviously not the spot Chris is looking for yet. We will see. As far as the rest of the show, Becky Lynch becoming Women's Intercontinental Champion again, I thought was probably the right move. I don't think Maxine Dupree is really necessarily taken off. I mean, good for her that she had a run. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky being women's tag champs. Good matchup, and it seems there is an emphasis on women's tag wrestling right now in both companies. That is nice. And we were also wrong. Braun Breaker did not get that world championship yet from CM Punk. Great matchup. Really did a good job putting over Braun strong, but almost to the point the stronger they're putting Braun, it started to make me really question as the match went on. Like, oh, maybe he's not getting it yet. And he did not. So is Braun Breaker still going to be champion at some point? I'd say probably in the next few months still, honestly.
That Missed Frankensteiner was nasty. I saw a clip of that. And thank God he's all right. They're building up Gunther and AJ Styles next week. So
in Germany. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because you've got the Saudi Arabia Royal Rumble at the end of the month. So almost why not do some foreign touring? Obviously, that's going to jack up the whole broadcast schedule. But thankfully, they're on Netflix, so it doesn't affect them too bad. Moving on to NXT, we had New Year's Evil. We got the new Women's North American Champion.
Yeah, Izzy Dane.
Think about this. I did not see this coming.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about some of these NXT people that may or may not be moving around. And one of the things that was interesting was that, a lot of us realized that Thea Hale probably won this title almost by accident against Blake Monroe. And here we're thinking Blake Monroe is going to maybe just get that title back. Instead, they do something out of left field. They kick Blake Monroe off the show after she attacks Thea, and then Izzy Dane walks in with an open challenge. Izzy, we didn't even talk about this too. We mentioned this. She had lost a match earlier in the show to Tatum Paxley too. So you kind of have a feud set up there based off their history still. And she's now the new North American Women's Champion. And it's a different direction and a way to go. And I think it's also probably due to the fact, like I said, we're going to be seeing a lot more call-ups now. Probably one of the biggest call-ups in a long time in NXT. But I like Izzy being champ.
Yeah, this was one of the title matches on there. The other one, Leon Slater did not get that NXT championship, which makes sense. I mean, I think that was another one where we were hoping.
Yes.
The main reason I think I know I picked Slater was because I didn't see Oba sitting with this championship for long because we felt like it's time for him to move up soon. And we'll talk about it later, but that news was later confirmed. And, the championship vacated in the ring.
Right.
Interesting way to go with this. I guess the big question, who do you see stepping up for it next? Who's in that contention?
Man, it is really tough because so many people are jumping ship right now and going up to the main roster. So it's kind of hard to say who's going to be the standout competitor. But, I mean, one guy I think we can definitely look at is Tony D'Angelo. He was in the crowd. He was watching as that title was dropped. So I have to think that Tony is going to be there. And also I have to think that, TNA wrestlers, TNA Impact, AAA wrestlers are possibly all going to be part of this tournament now, especially when all the call-ups, you're going to probably want to pull in from different talent. One guy I would say in NXT that already has a championship, but Ethan Page is probably going to be a part of this as well.
Makes sense. And it's one of those things where NXT, you get comfortable with the set of talent they have in there, and then sometimes people get upset when people move on, but it is still like a developmental kind of company for WWE. So it makes sense to have, old people flow out, new people come in. Sometimes you bring in classic people. I think that's one of the things that makes it most exciting. And it's going to give this championship situation that much more intrigue. And moving on, where we're going to go next because there was another return.
Yes.
This one wasn't so surprising because Wrestle Kingdom 20 was last weekend. Andrade appeared on Wrestle Kingdom, announced as a member of AEW with AEW music playing. He's back on Dynamite this week. Are you excited for the Andrade return? This time's got to go better than last time, right?
Yeah. Last time, like a couple months ago, yeah, I would imagine that now that they have all the legal issues figured out, it has to go better. Am I excited? No more excited than I was the last time. I didn't, last time was more of a shock. This time I kind of figured eventually he'd be back. So, but I'm excited about the prospect of Andrade being at AEW. He's coming at a very interesting time right now where AEW looks like it's starting to heat up again. And, you have MJF at that title picture, but you got guys like Swerve and Hangman nipping at the heels. You got to think that Andrade, he could fit right into that title picture, or maybe even with Moxley, the Continental Champion, who's been on fire right now. So there's a lot of different people you could see Andrade possibly working with and doing big things with.
Yeah, this time's got to go better than that last time. I kind of hope it goes better than the first time because he was featured good at first and then kind of dropped off. And this is a guy that's great. I'd like to see him featured more. You could use him, especially when you go to things like CMLL, when you go to Japan, kind of branching out like that. But very excited for his return. I'm an Andrade fan. And this Thursday, coming up, TNA on AMC. Have you gotten AMC Plus yet? Will you be watching this episode?
I will be. I have not got it yet. I'm just looking here. I saw a couple things here. Elijah and the Hardys wrestling Order 4. So Elijah in the ring. And there will be a TNA Knockouts Tag Team title match with the Inspiration against the Elegance brand. And we're also kind of, I think, at the same time getting ready for, they have TNA Genesis, I think literally that Saturday coming in. It's that weekend. I know that. So interesting stuff. Yeah, I will be getting AMC this week sometime because I'm looking forward to especially this initial live edition of TNA Impact. Really cool and really happy for TNA Impact being off Access TV and getting on a major channel. This is really good for wrestling.
Yeah, I'm hoping this goes well. It's that thing that whenever TNA gets to make a big step, in the past, there's always been a way that they've TNA'd it, and I'm hoping that they avoid it here. It is kind of wild that they're debuting the TV show so close to the pay-per-view.
$6.99 a month again, by the way. I just want to throw that out there, so not a bad deal.
That's not bad at all, especially... I think TNA Plus is like $9.99, so you're saving a little bit there.
$9.99 with ad frees if you're doing an ad free AMC, but $6.99 otherwise. So you can also do a $95.88 a year, so you can save a little money if you want to pay for the year.
That's not bad. I mean, if you go over to our Patreon, I think I set it to something ridiculous, like you save half off if you sign up for the whole year, but. It's those sign-up deals that get you. We're excited for this episode, and we're excited to talk to you on Patreon. All we have is one little commercial in between that.
Read about the Northern Wrestling Federation in the book presented by Russellville.com, The Pro Wrestling Vault, Volume 2. Hear the story of Roger Ruffin, the man who trained Carl Anderson, the Monster Abyss, Jordan Clearwater, Chris Harris, and Jillian Hall.
Plus 45 other short stories including Jazz, Bobby Eaton, Kamala, Thunder Rosa, Mario Mancini, Scott Casey, PJ Black, Kerry Morton, Sal Renaro, Jeremiah Plunkett, Colby Carino, Bam Bam Malone, and many others.
Get your book today at Russellville.com. Russellville. It's where wrestling lives.